Greetings, I'm Michael DeSanto and the host of this edition of Champion Chats, where we dive into proven success stories from around the fluid analysis industry. Today, we're joined by Mark Barnes from Deskcase. Welcome, Mark.
Thanks, Michael.
We thank you for joining us here on Champion Chats. Deskcase has some great stories to share, and you have a great company that we've partnered with over the years. Can you share a little bit about Deskcase and how it's helping companies protect more of their equipment?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Deskcase is a pretty old company. We've been in business now since 1983. We do business literally around the globe. We are active in about 70 countries around the world. And a lot of people know Deskcase as the breather company, and that's with good reason. Our founder, Jim Waller, actually invented the desiccant breather back in 1983. But today, we're a lot more than just a desiccant breather company. We offer a full suite of solutions for lubrication management and cleanliness. So for us, we help our industrial customers really focus in on the important aspects of lubrication. We help them understand why lubrication is important. We help them how to dive into specific solutions.
And as a solutions company and a company that's handling products, you talk a lot about proven results and the importance of taking action on the information you receive. What are some of the impact that you've seen through Deskcase and working with your customers to improve equipment uptime?
So, you know, when it comes to lubrication, a lot of the challenges that we deal with focus in around making sure the health and the cleanliness and the integrity of the lubricant is there, so that the machine is constantly protected by high quality lubricant that's clean and dry. When you look at particularly on contamination control, you know, people that know their way around lubrication will tell you that a lot of the challenges that we have around mechanical equipment are tied back to contamination. In fact, anywhere as much as 60 to 80% of mechanical issues can be tied directly or indirectly to contamination.
And what are some of the common problems that have even highlighted by oil analysis, and how are you helping address those companies' issues that they're experiencing?
When we talk about oil analysis and we provide training in that area, we always think about oil analysis in three distinct buckets. The first bucket are the tests that we run to measure the presence or absence of wear in a machine, so things like iron, copper, lead, and so on in the machine. And then two other areas that we always focus in on are the health of the lubricant and then the cleanliness of the lubricant. And what we find is a lot of people, when they pull an oil analysis report, they focus more on, is the machine wearing, is it about to fail? For us, we focus in on the two other areas of oil analysis, specifically looking at oil properties like viscosity, like acid number, like MPC, to ensure first and foremost that the lubricant is the machine and that it's now healthy and it's good for continued use. And then when we look at contamination, we're looking at things like particle contamination, moisture contamination, in an engine environment, fuel dilution or glycol ingression. And you know, controlling the health and the cleanliness of those lubricants really is the critical piece to ensuring uptime.
When you're talking about providing solutions to the customer, one of the things that you've often talked about is the importance of prescriptive oil analysis. How can a company really maximize the prescriptive value of their oil analysis program today?
Yeah, so I like, you know, oil analysis. Many people will tell you that oil analysis is very much like a blood test. If you feel unwell, you go to your doctor, and your doctor will ask you certain questions about, you know, where you've been, or you know, have you been tired lately, or what have you been doing? They'll then take a blood sample and analyze the physical chemical properties of that blood, and maybe ask some other pertinent questions, do some other diagnoses, maybe even go as far as doing things like MRIs or X-rays or other diagnostic processes. And for me, oil analysis is just one of those pieces. It's the blood test. But the blood test is a critical component in the hands of the right professional. When I talk about prescriptive, I think about taking the blood test or the oil analysis test, operational data. What have we done recently around operations? Have we cleaned any equipment? Have we done any maintenance? Have we changed filters recently? Have we changed oil recently? And then using that blood test or that oil analysis test to really focus in on and say, okay, what are our standard lubrication practices and what do I need to change? You know, good example, I know that in Polaris now you guys are doing grease analysis. So one of the things we can look at is, you know, are we overextending time intervals between regrease intervals on a bearing? Do we need to change our fundamental lubrication practices? or if we've just done an oil change on a pump and we notice that there's a little bit of zinc and phosphorus showing up, that could indicate that our storage practices are actually creating some cross-contamination.
And speaking of recommendations, what recommendations can you offer maintenance professionals who are using filtration in conjunction with fluid analysis to improve equipment reliability?
When we talk about lubrication, there are 5 R's. Get the right lubricant in the right place, the right amount, the right cleanliness, the right dryness, and that's really all there is to basic lubrication. But for us, we think about using oil analysis and contamination control and fluid properties control as a holistic process. So we want to use oil analysis to direct our efforts. So we look at, for example, how we store and handle our lubricants, how lubricants get from the storeroom, how we dispense, how we handle when we put that lubricant in the machine, how do we keep it clean, how do we keep it dry, how do we ensure that that lubricant is still good for continued use. And that's really the marriage between precision lubrication and fluid analysis. Again, lubrication and oil analysis just go hand in hand. They really provide direction and strategy towards moving in a better direction with our lubrication practices.
And those are really great insights today. We've enjoyed hearing about Deskcase. We've heard a lot about your experience. We've heard about some of the teachings that you've had and some of your trainings that we've witnessed as well. All very valuable insights today. Thank you for joining us on Champion Chats.
Thank you, Michael. It's been a pleasure to be here, and we certainly appreciate the opportunity to chat with you and to your customers.
Thank you. And for all of you, thank you for viewing Champion Chats. To learn more about how we help companies save more equipment and increase uptime, visit us at polarislabs.com. See you soon.